Nitro Circus prep video 1, whips. I have to not suck at whips from now on. So, let's get ready and let's get out there. Ugh. Back in my garage, this is where we always start. It's early in the morning, Vaughn here's a slave driver. We had a killer day of riding yesterday, wasn't enough for him. He said I have to ride again today. So, we're getting ready, we're gonna go. There's a little video series that I'm thinking about doing, which is like Nitro Circus prep. We start Nitro Circus in June in North America again, and I wanna be the most dialed I've ever been for that tour. Like I wanna crush harder than ever. So, there's certain things that I need to work on at particular times, I think, to make me the best rider for Nitro Circus. And you know, I think that's kind of what we'll focus on, is just maybe a different trick every time, something like that. So number 1 trick that I need to work on most in my inventory is freaking whips. I think it's gonna be, it's kind of like a massive investment to focus on whips. I've never really focused on them. I've focused on everything else in the world. Nowadays, the only thing anybody gives a shit about is whips. So we're gonna work on whips. And the main thing is not to get the biggest whips in the world today, but it's to bring back comfortability with whipping and, you know, getting under the bike, doing all the things whip related. So Nitro Circus prep video 1, whips. I have to not suck at whips from now on. So before we get out of here, we gotta open up my big Christmas present. Woohoo! What is it, I wonder? Watch your fingers when cutting. You wanna cut the box, not your fingers. Okay, any guesses? Any guesses? I think it's a panda. And then we're gonna let the fluffy panda out. Hopefully this is the right side. What? Where am I gonna put this thing, dude? My garage is already small enough. Holy! Alright, we got this thing plugged in, it works. I'm gonna have to find a sweet spot for it in the garage. Like, my garage is pretty full right now. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I know this isn't gonna work. We gotta make it look a lot sicker than this in here. But I'll figure it out, so save that for another day. But now that you mention it, I'm pretty low on energy, and yes, I could actually use 300 milligrams of caffeine this morning. Let's load up, let's get out of here. Time to ride, baby, woo! Hey man, what's happening?
What's the game plan?
Oh, the game plan. Ride some dirt bikes, try to get consistent, try to wake up first, I guess. Gosh, I don't know. I feel tired today, but I think the overcast coldness doesn't really help. But yeah, the game plan is to go shred some whips. Like, seriously, after today, I wouldn't be surprised if I had an email in my inbox with an invite to Best Whip. It's not even gonna specify which Best Whip. It's probably just gonna say like, all. You're invited to all of them. You know, fun fact, Dew Tour 2011 or 12 or something like that at San Francisco when we did the triple threat, I actually had the highest scoring whip in that event. Like, what happened to me? I don't know where they went. I think it's just that I don't really do them anymore. I just like, I focus on my tricks and crushing those and like being the best at those. But I honestly, I think when the whip game got elevated like so far above what I'm able to do, I kind of just gave up. I think when the level of whip from guys like Bearman and Hodges and all those dudes got like insane, I was just like, I'm never gonna compete, so I might as well just focus on my thing, which was tricks, and that's what I did. And over the past couple years, I've definitely noticed like a massive decline in my whips. And when I go other places especially, my whips are worse. So whatever I do today on this setup, this is the best my whips will ever get because it's my home setup and I'm comfortable with it. But when I go to Nitro and we do whip trains and shit like that, like, it's becoming embarrassing. So I gotta do something about it, and today's the day that we're gonna do something about it. All right, it's me, Adam Jones, again. Up here at the riding spot, getting ready to ride by myself. You know, a little background history on me. Apparently I have 0 friends, especially 0 friends that ride dirt bikes. Ride by myself all the time. It's 40 degrees outside. It's pretty cold. It's gonna be a chilly ride. I do have a couple friends, just none that live here. Like Bo Bamberg, he's my friend. He lives in Oregon. We don't ride together. Mike Mason, he used to be my friend, but he doesn't ride anymore, he just golfs. I don't golf, so I don't think we can be friends anymore. All right, but yeah, we're here, we're ready to ride. I got a clean bike today. I'm really showing off for the camera. Well, it's partially clean. But yeah, man, another session up here, riding by myself, just crushing. The good thing about riding by yourself though is like you win every day. Nobody beats me out here, ever. Loose bolts, no big deal. Maybe I should hire a mechanic instead of a filmer.
You're doing all right.
Bad idea, Vaughn?
Bad idea. You're doing all right.
Is it lefty tighty? No, righty tighty? I don't remember.
Yeah, and then you put as much force into it as you can.
Yeah, especially on these plastic throttle housings. The key is extra tightness.
And if you're not extra tightening, kids, you never know. You might just slip off the lip.
Dude, I can't believe that. My throttle was actually pulled to the right a little bit. I could see the silver wore down part of my bars instead of the black coated part. And I was like, shit, I don't think that's right. Holy cow. Amateur hour. I have to just like power through my first 20 tricks with freezing cold fingers that don't really want to work to warm my body up. There's just no other way to do it. Here we go. Got the first session out of the way. It's a tough one. It's freaking cold out here. The sun not coming out is not helping anything. It's about 40, no sun. That's chilly up here in Nevada. We got a little breeze ripping through that's ice cold. It's coming right off them snow caps. Yeah, so I got my little warm up in. I can feel my fingers now. Now we got to get to the hard shit. And today, the hard shit is going to be whips. So the process is going to be, I'm literally gonna try not to try. I'm gonna try for comfort. And one of the things I'm gonna try a couple times today, which I'm gonna really embarrass myself putting this out to the public, is I'm gonna do some not seat bounce whips. So some stand-up whips. Once you start doing seat bounce whips, like, you lose stand-up whips completely. And it's like the most uncomfortable thing ever for me now, is doing a stand-up whip. I feel like I have no throttle control. Like I'm just gonna go, brah, and fucking loop out and throw the bike away. It feels that uncomfortable. So I gotta get those back so I get a little control on the whips. I gotta do a bunch of seat bounce whips. I gotta get myself into like a controlled, consistent level. So in order to do that, you got to step down. Like, you got to practice perfect. You know, I know everybody's heard this, but practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So what I'm going to have to do is chill, make myself look like a real asshole, do some really little whips, and try to build up comfortability. So this is day one, and I'll try to throw a couple crankers in there. You know, these are my crankers, but I'll try to throw a couple of them in there too. That way it's a little more exciting to watch. But yeah, this is an important part of our careers these days, is knowing how to whip. It's kind of how everybody rates you on everything. So it's pretty important to have a good whip, and it's something that I've completely let go over the last handful of years, and it's time to get it back. Tricks are not for kids. Tricks are for 37-year-old, washed up, professional freestyle motocross riders.
You're 37 years old?
37, dude, I'm 38 in a couple months. That's ridiculous. Don't tell anybody. Put that on YouTube. I'm just kidding, obviously. You should put that on YouTube. So believe it or not, speed coming into the ramp is like a huge thing for whips, and I'm really like messing that up right now. Coming in too fast, so you don't really get the same pop when you throttle up the lip. I'm overthinking it. It's weird because like on most days I do one, like maybe two mediocre whips, and you know, I do tricks that I'm good at more than that in a single day. So it really makes sense why my whips have deteriorated. Riding angry is like the worst thing you can do, but trying to whip like makes me angry. So they just like, they get worse and worse. You do one crappy one and it spirals. Somehow I gotta woo-saw a little bit and try to chill. But man, these are so hard. But we're gonna keep at it. Alright, you ready for me to really embarrass myself? Shake the camera up and down if it's a yes. That's a yes. Stand up whip. This is gonna be so embarrassing. But I gotta do it, man. You gotta keep the momentum rolling. Keep it going. This is where I suck at whipping. So that one, like, I don't know if you'll be able to tell from watching it, but that one came off the lip exactly right. Like, the front end was high, it flicked, and as soon as I came off and felt that, I panicked and immediately went into like, bring the whip back mode. Like, if I would trust the whip, that's the one you get the whip with, but it was too scary. Like, I'm so out of practice with these, but if we slow-mo that one, you might be able to see the difference when it comes off the ramp and the front end's just a little higher and you get the flick. But literally, once my back tire came off the top of the ramp, I was fighting to bring it back because I wasn't ready for it. All right, let's do it again. What was that? That was so good! Alright, I have no idea what happened right there. But that one actually like felt alright. What do you think, Vaughn? Did it look okay?
We're gonna have to rewatch some.
Dude, that's not what I needed to hear right now.
You did great. It was awesome.
That's what I needed. Just tell me what I want to hear, not what I need to hear.
The big dogs would be proud.
That one flicked off the ramp a little bit, so that's good. That's what you want. Need to get more comfortable with that. I haven't done a turn down in like over 10 years. There was a time in my freestyle career where I had turn downs figured out, and I haven't done them in 10 years. So are you ready to see my first turn down attempt in 10 years? Funny little fun fact though, I turned down the opposite way that I whip. So this could end in tragedy. It could end in tragedy, or it could end in me just straight jumping. It was the latter. I straight jumped.
That was a flattering angle.
That's what I was gonna say. For one, this is a flattering angle. But so for all my subpar whip ways, even though I don't think that has any style right now, I feel like that would be the most like socially acceptable whip to throw in public. Because getting kind of sideways, my whips are just embarrassing. So here's what I'm gonna try to do. I've done a handful of all three kinds, none of which I think are really that good. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna go seat bounce, stand up, turn down, and I'm just gonna give it my best effort on each one. So 1, film this shit. Or don't, I don't know. That was okay. Now the stand-up whip. Could be really good or really bad. I would say not very good. Turn down. Here we go. All right, that's all I can do for today. I've overstimulated my brain a little bit, used all the mental energy I have, and honestly, that's like the most important part. Once your mental energy fades, like, just quit riding, because you're gonna start making mistakes, and didn't make any yet, so let's park it for today. Whips feel like dog shit, but I gotta play the long game on this one. I just gotta do them every single day. Turn downs actually kind of like came back a little bit. Like, believe me, I'm not saying any of this stuff is competitive right now. I'm just saying they actually started to kind of come back a little bit. So that's good. I'm gonna keep working on those. Keep working on the stand-up whips, because that's like an element of bike control that I don't feel like I have right now at all. And the seat bounce whips will just keep being my old faithful. They're gonna suck, but they'll be my go-to every time. So yeah, that's it for the riding today. Good day, solid. I needed that. I need these practice days like this that just crush, and today crushed. I did all my stuff a couple times, which is how you build that confidence. So
what is going on right now?
All right, breaking development. RJ happened to find this old CR80 right here, and he's getting rid of it. That thing's all stock. It basically just sat in a garage for years. So what is going on right here is we're buying that and giving it to Link. Link's getting a little big for that 60, so we're gonna put him on the 80. All right, I think this is a 2005. The internet will have to correct me if I'm wrong. But I mean, it looks fairly clean for an old bike. I think it's gonna do the trick. Uh-oh, we're gonna get attacked. We got a little off track there. The security system came out and frightened us all. Big old Zeus here, we thought he was gonna take a chunk out of our leg. So this is actually the first time I've seen this thing up close, but it looks pretty clean. And to be honest, you cannot even get 80s out there right now. I've been looking for an 80 for length for so long, and like, you can't get them. They're not out there, unless you want to go to a shop, buy a brand new one, but my kids aren't really, they're not really that serious about their riding, so the used bikes will do the trick.
Hey, does this thing run?
I hope so. I haven't started it. Don't worry, guys. I'll get it.
I know. Would it be nice if I stuck this down? Oh,
we're losing it. Kind of gotta. There we go.
Coming in hot. Right in the back. Yeah.
What's up?
What's the game plan?
Well, you know, when you're dad, you just don't get to sit still like ever. So, rode today all morning, came back, washed everything up, put everything away. Now we're just gonna load up this old go-kart we got, take it down the road. There's a big like open area we go take the kids to sometimes. We're gonna let them mob the go-kart. And then I'm gonna cook them dinner, and then I'm gonna wash all the dishes, and then, you know, I'll read them a bedtime story, shower them, put them to bed. I'll just do everything. Then maybe I'll go to sleep.
Don't forget the laundry.
How do you guys feel about that?
I feel unappreciated.
All right, so guys, be careful like going into turns wide open and then drifting, because if you go into the turn real fast and you start drifting and you hit a hole, so there's tons of holes around here, you're gonna flip the go-kart.
Alright, remember, the whole team's counting on you.
Alright. Hope they don't let him down.